this message maybe from the year 2004, 2005, and I wrote it in my notes. Possibly that I think I did throw it away. And at that time, I thought it was maybe useless and didn't really thought it was really important to me, honestly. There was a lot of things that I did throw away, but I kind of regret it. But just last Friday, it's like everything was just downloaded, back to me, because I thought, like, wait a minute, I know this stuff. I just didn't really have the time to talk about it, whenever I do see this Mark of the Beast thing, stuff like that, and the numbers. But sometimes I wish I can just, get into the DeLorean and just go back in the past, like Back to the Future. Since I have time right now to really talk about it, like I said, last week Friday, it was just, everything was just downloaded to me on this kind of thing. And well, you can look at Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17. And I'll also be talking about 18. In verse 16, it says that, that he will cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, or servants, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. And it says that the next verse also mentions that no one can buy or sell unless he have this mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of his name. And in verse 18, where we get into the 666 part, it says that let him, well, this is a call for wisdom. Let him have understanding or have enlightenment. Calculate this number, which is the number of beast and the number of man, and this number is 666. So in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, 17, and 18, what I just read you, I wasn't really into linguistics, studying languages, but it was just something about the Hebrew tongue. I mean, I kind of speak Aramaic, and no one around me speaks it, so I kind of like to teach myself and learn other stuff. But the number 6 in Hebrew is, I believe it's Vav, and it looks like a W, but it's also a V. But we're looking at the W right now. So we have 6, which means W. We have 666, which is WWW. That's the first 3 things that you type on the computer in any search engine, which means World Wide Web. Now you look at the World Wide Web, and I'm also going to be like showing you guys different meanings of certain, like, even websites or social media sites as well. So I kind of add that in too. But World Wide Web, you can kind of look at it as it being a trap. The world is going to basically be a trap. And spiders are known to make webs to trap something, and in order for a spider to, to make a successful web, they have to be connected to something. And the webs are even connected. So you look through social media, it's definitely connected. The numerology, or people call it Bible numbers or biblical numerology, study of numbers. Numbers have a lot of meanings to it. Like the number 7, it means perfection, right? The number 40, number 40 represents, like, God's patience. 40 can mean like a waiting period. You have Moses and the Israelites spent 40 years in the wilderness. Jesus was tempted, he was fasting in the wilderness for 40 days. When Noah was on the ark, it rained for 40 days and 40 nights. So you can kind of see that pattern in the biblical stories of the numerology of, what it means. Like the number 3. Number 3 is, it's like, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. It means like it's united, or unity, or a unified purpose. You get it? 1 Corinthians, Paul mentioned that there are 3 that are in agreement, which is faith, hope, and love. But the greatest is love. 1 John says that all 3 bear witness together, which is the spirit, the flesh. The spirit, the blood, and the water. So we got spirit, blood, and water, and those 3 are in agreement. And Paul also said in 2 Corinthians that he was caught up to the 3rd heaven. It was 2 Corinthians chapter 12. He said that he knew a man 14 years ago that he was called to the third heaven, which is paradise. You know, Jesus Christ resurrected on the third day. So these numbers definitely have a meaning to it. Like I said again with the number 7, it means completion. You know, God rested on the 7th day. You know what I'm saying? Considered Sabbath. So from His work, it was definitely a lot of meaning to a lot of things. The number 6. Number 6 is actually the number of beast, the number of man. Sometimes people call it Satan's number, which maybe is true. You know, the number 6 is lower than 7. So you have 7, and then you have 6 underneath it. So it's like 7 is perfection, like holiness, completion. You know, when Jesus said, "Forgive your enemies 70 times 7," that means I'm in abundance, like completely forgive them. But number 6 is underneath 7, so it's like a fall, like how Satan fall from perfection. You know what I'm saying? In the same way, you know what I'm saying, we was created, you know what I'm saying, in the garden, and we're placed in the garden, we were perfected as well, you know, but we also fell from grace. So we were 7, but we want to go into 6 because we fell from perfection, just as Satan has failed from perfection. So that number of beast, which is a number of man, you kind of hope you guys get that. Remember earlier that I mentioned that the number 3 represents unity or unified purpose. So when we look at 666, which has 3 6s, we can see that there is a unified purpose of man and beast. Yeah, that's kind of it. Let's look at the meaning of like social media sites. I'm gonna combine all this stuff together, so you know, I didn't kind of written stuff down. I'm just going off of what I've written down, what I remember. You have Snapchat, which is so popular. I mean, I downloaded Snapchat personally, maybe like I think 2 years ago, and I just got rid of it within the next 3 minutes because I didn't know how to use it, and it was just like I don't understand that stuff. So. You know, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, as you know, you can see, we're all connected online. You know, social media, things like that. We have a high-tech era that we have entered to, and since phones came out, I'm not talking about and we had boom boxes, you know, CD players, Walkmans. I mean, it's the old school stuff that we used to have back in the day. But now everything, you can actually connect with the world just what's on your phone. Now, Facebook. I looked at Facebook and just thought about the meaning of it. You know, when you go to a page, you know what I'm saying, you write things, you got the statuses, the notes, the pictures. If you look at the word Facebook, you know, it's Facebook, you know, a book, something you can read, and you have your face, which is your identity. So if your face, you know what I'm saying, is actually on a book, people can actually look into your page. Look on your page, really they're looking into your life. So you have Facebook, you know, Instagram. Insta, which is, you know, instantly, you know, like a quickness. Then we have grams, you know, like, you know what a gram is, you know, but kind of look at it like not as gram, but it's like gratification, gratitude. So it's like instant gratification, you know, where it's more a joy of like showing yourself out, you know what I'm saying? Whereas I want to say it as a lover amongst themselves, but it's kind of getting there, you know, where it's just instant gratification. You know, post something, you get the likes, you get the hearts and stuff like that. So you can kind of see where it's Instagram is like instant gratification. So that's, you know, just something. But kind of look at YouTube, you know, so like a tube or a television, you know what I'm saying? And then you're actually on television, on a tube, you know, stuff like that. What else? Snapchat, I mean, it's quite obvious with Snapchat, you know what I'm saying? It's snapping of pictures and chat, so it's like you're kind of chatting with pictures. I have a lot of meaning to these things. All right, with this conclusion that I kind of brought up, all right, you guys realize that I was talking about social media, right? And I'm talking about the phones. And with the phones, I'm also talking about, you know, high tech, you know, technology, advancements, and also with the number of the beast, which is the number of man, 666. I want you guys to look at something. I'm not saying that the phone is the mark of the beast. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying nothing like that. So don't throw away your phone. You know, don't don't do that. But I want you guys to really look at, when it says in verse 16, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, um, to receive a mark on their right hand or forehead. We kind of like don't really have that, what I'm saying? But it's like we're kind of programmed to nearly accepting it, because a mark on the right hand, hands, and then your forehead, which is the mind, right? So you have a mark. Mark is like a sign or something. And what do we usually do when we wake up, or when you see other people walking, or on a bus stop, or just at work? So not necessarily watching TV, but they're watching on their phones. They're always on their phones. So everybody's connected through this website, right? Social media, all that on the phones. So you have something that you have in your hands, and you also have the mind where you're focusing on the phone. So you're basically already having yourself marked up with, your forehead and with what's on your hands, right? So you kind of see where I'm coming from, where, like I said, it's not, I won't say it's a chip. To be honest with you, people that are in the military, they kind of, I know this one guy was in the Army. He was basically like, he retired, but he told me that people been chipped way before then. But it was he couldn't tell me everything, but I want to say that this Vera chip, it's an RFID, which is a radio frequency identification chip, like what they have put in dogs. In this case, dogs run away, they can find it, or a scanner, or certain countries in the world that have this kind of identification chip, RFID. Anybody can just take it out, things like that, but this is maybe a little bit different what's going to soon come to happen. I mean, I have personally dreams. I have dreams about it personally, about something being some kind of chip stamp thing, whatever. And then I kind of like got mad at the person doing it, and I kind of like ripped it out, whatever, something like that. But it's like we're entering the era where we're already programmed to take this or to accept it. It's like the majority of things that's happening right now that you see on the news or in politics or economics and stuff like that, accepting this mark on the forehead and the right hand, we're kind of like already programmed to accepting things that we have within our mind, within our reach, hands. And pretty soon you won't be able to buy or sell, as what the scriptures say, until you have this mark. So you guys can understand what I'm trying to get at, that I'm not saying like the phones is a mark of the beast. I'm not saying that, but it's like kind of programmed to really accepting a lot of things because we're so used to it. You can personally write a status, I can share it, I can make a video, and everybody in the world will see it. We're all connected, to this website, and some people do it for bad purpose, some people don't. Me personally, I do it for a good thing, because this right here, it gives life. When I'm on Instagram, it gives life. It teaches people things. I have one body, one face. I don't want to take 1,000 pictures of myself. That's just me. That's just me. I'm not judging nobody. I'm not being opinionated or trying to, or criticize anybody. That's personally just me. I just found out that if I'm dead and gone soon, whatever, I want to leave something behind that can at least rise up or teach the next generation. Doing the right thing, righteousness, holiness, so hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Oh, there's another thing too. With the Hebrew tongue 6, which is a vav, it actually represents also not just W or B, but also it's like a peg. It's kind of like a picture of a peg, something that you kind of like pierce something through. And I realized that, you look at Christ's crucifixion, he was pierced basically like, 3 times. His feet were basically kind of together, then his hands. So you kind of have the peg here, and the feet, right? So you kind of see that where, of course, he defeated the enemy, but he also defeated the beast as well. Because the peg means, vav, which is like 6. So 6 feet, 6. Which I kind of like was laying down before I was doing this video, laying down thinking on something, or it just came to me that, he already defeated the beast. So the enemy has already been destroyed, or I won't say destroyed yet, but the enemy's already been conquered before it's even going to arise. So the only thing we have to do is just walk in victory, because the battle is not ours, the battle is his. And he also have the victory. And if we're with him, we have that victory too. We just have to just walk in it. because it's not about us, it's about Him.